A lot of people might be losing some money today, man. But hey, either way it goes, make sure y'all enjoy yourselves. What's your favorite Super Bowl food that y'all gonna be eating, man? Me, I love those smoked weenies, and of course those chicken wings, man. But yeah, man, put it in the comment section. What's your favorite Super Bowl food? But enjoy some of this Black History facts for the next hour, man. This is me running it back 60 years later with my guest, Mr. Terrence Roselle, man. So yeah, enjoy it, gang.
Usually poses as the friend of the Negro, who actually differs from the white conservative in the same way that the fox differs from the wolf. Their appetite is the same. Their motives are the same. It's only their mannerisms and methods that differ.
And more than that, I would say that just because a person is a Negro or a Black American does not mean that he's going to struggle for Negro rights or for jobs for Negroes or anything else. I think that today you could point to a large number of Negro leaders who have consistently betrayed Negroes in a whole host of areas.
They aren't really Negro leaders. These are puppets that have been put in front of the Negro community by white liberals.
See, Malcolm X saw it 60 years ago.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of Cartoons and Cuts, man, where we cut through the noise and get straight to the chase, man. That was Malcolm X. I forget what type of talk show that he was on at that time. I apologize. I was supposed to have a guest, but we got mixed up on the time, man. Sad, bro. Did a epic fail. Didn't specify on it being Central Time or Eastern Time, but it's all good, man. We're going to bring it back. Like 4 flats on a Cadillac, man. But yeah, that was Malcolm X talking about the damages of what liberalism was doing and shaping America at that time, man. And here's another excerpt that I want to give you all before I even go deep into my episode. Just about like, you know what I'm saying, where we were about 60 years ago. You know, what type of mentality we had, what type of people we were, and just the difference of today, man. So here goes another clip.
As I was going back to see, he pointed out for me that I could go back when I want to. Go back to where? Huh? Go anywhere.
Sir, could you stand up? We can't hear you. Could you stand up over there by the microphone?
You mean to Africa? Do you mean to Africa? Do you mean to Africa? We are not Africans no more. You have raped our great-grandmothers and stuff and changed us. Let me finish. And gave us a name as a Negro. I am not a Negro. A Negro is a person with a slave at the man. I just want to tell you that. And don't say nothing else to me.
Sir?
My name is Reginald Dobbs. I live at 3319 Maple. One of the ghettos areas that was pointed out in the film. I'd like to direct a question to Reverend Mitchell. Do you think that we will be satisfied with the jobs they are giving us?
Yes, son, I think so. Simply because we are asking that you be trained on the job, and they start you off with a certain salary starting rates, and you would be promoted up to the maximum.
No,
of the job.
I don't believe that. The white man is gonna keep you where he got you. You're not going no higher than he wants you to go. And we ain't gonna settle for nothing but all the way. About this violence and non-violence, I'm for violence. Because we have pleaded for the last 400 years.
Mr. Meek said you did not speak for him. How would you talk to a young boy like that?
Well, I would say I would definitely have to use the Bible, Mr. Dunn. Well, this is my only way.
I ain't no Uncle Tom.
Well, salvation.
You can't brainwash me.
Jesus said, first you seek the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness, all of these things will be added.
Heaven is on earth, mind you, brother. Where you gonna go when we start revolution? Whose side are you gonna be on? Are you still gonna be on your knees begging for us jobs?
I will, as Mr. Meek said, he wouldn't just die standing on his feet rather than to die on his knees. I will die standing up for God, regardless of any circumstance.
Okay. Have God ever told you to let this white man rule you like he is?
Well, young man, you first must be born again. God is a spirit.
No, I ain't born again. I I ain't got to be born again. See, I was born in a new generation. You could your mother could have brainwashed you, but can't nobody brainwash me. I'm ready. It's gonna take young boys like us to win the revolution.
The white peoples realized today that they was wrong for enslaving the Negro. The great mass. May I finish? I'll wait. Why, if you so militant and so intelligent, why don't you keep your mouth shut?
I'll tell you why, Reverend Mitchell, because I'm sick and tired of you standing up there on a television camera, a black man with a white heart and a white face. You're a black man.
I say that because it is.
Man. Yeah, man. So what we have right there was the mentality of these young black men prior to, I mean, this was like in 1955, I think, or 1965. Today, black people are at the bottom of every social economical class, political class, everything that you name it. And we got to really address the issue and the root cause of what's really going on or what has been going on in our community. And it's the damage of this time around, we're diving right back into the full conversation and a powerful one about 60 years later and the damage of what one Negro can do. This time, I'm joined with my very special guest, Dr. Terrence Roselle, PhD, received his Bible college and seminary education at Zion Bible Institution in Rhode Island and a Christian Life Bible College and Seminary, Illinois. He's earned his bachelor's degree in healthcare administration at National Louis University in Chicago. He went to complete a master's in mental health counseling and later a PhD in social and behavioral science and at the Capella University. With over 30 years in the mental health field, he served as a lecturer, therapist, and a psychologist in social behavioral scientists. So please give a round of applause for Mr. Dr. Terrence Roselle. Welcome to the show, brother. Thank you so much.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much. I hope we have a show that we can provide some information to you to help you fill in the gaps of what you're seeing going on in the Black community. I must give credit where credit is due. I stumbled onto this, what was going on, what was causing it, who was really doing it. And I want to tell the audience, I am not confused at all about what's going on. I'm not confused. I'm not trying to find truth. I have found it, and I want to share it with you. But in my PhD program, I stumbled into a block where I couldn't go forward for a while. And that left me wondering to do more research. And I had people telling me, very intelligent people, whispering to me information about things that were going on in our society, in our communities, what was really going on, what was behind it. But brother, it sounded so crazy and insane that I just couldn't wrap my head around it at the time. But what I did was I got this guy's book, Dr. John Coleman, wrote a book called The Tavistock Institute of Human Relations. Reading that book, this guy did all of his research on location at the London Library. And brother, the London is who has it out for the United States. I am not, brother, they are not friends. And in the London Library, he was ex-MI6, so he had access. You can't get in the London Library unless you're a government employee or retired. He got in there for 7 years, did research on location. Do you know this dude found the plan to destroy the United States through illegal immigration in the London Library?
No, I did not know
But the
that.
guy found it all. He found it all, and he found out who, why, and what in the London Library, and then he became a citizen and brought it here. Do you nobody has listened to this man?
No, and that's the thing. Like, nobody cares. They'll start calling you crazy or whatever type of way to dismiss it, you know? But
well, having completed that phases in a PhD program, my research skills were very sharp. And a lot of people don't really understand research. They just think it's people just hodgepodging things together. I assure you it's nothing like that. There's a woman in Harvard who had to step down because of the science of research and the strict protocols you use to test research. They proved her research are phony, and she lost her job and professorship and everything at Harvard. You can look it up; it's recent, and all her research had to be thrown out. So we find out it takes us a while, but I was able to do research, and what I did was I tried to find out everything in this guy's book and disprove it. So I went and researched every detail. So I went page by page. Give you an example. He said when they took over TV and went from radio to TV, they assassinated the head of NBC, threw him off the roof. And when I went to research it, it said that he committed suicide and jumped off the roof. Well, you and I both know that that's one of the main assassination strategies is suicide. So I couldn't disprove anything the guy said. And I was able to prove like 99% of it. Dude, I know what's going on, and it's called social engineering. And the first step in that parade was the civil rights movement. And that's what you see going on right now. You see the Communist Manifesto, black folks living out the Communist Manifesto out there marching. Now they've transferred it to illegal immigrants and Palestinians.
right, so okay, because that's a lot. So let's back it up.
Sorry about that.
No, because it's all good, brother. Because that's
you ask questions and then I'll throw it in.
For sure, for sure. Because look, because I understand. So all right, so starting with the civil rights movement. Okay, are you familiar?
Yeah.
You saw the question. So are you familiar with the movie The Soldier's Story?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yep, I remember that. Some truth in it, like they always do, and then some bullshit.
Right. So I mean, just to recap for those who don't know, moral of the story, this one black dude tarnished the image of the rest of the black men in their camp. They was, you know what I'm saying? Moral of the story, like a black dude the black platoons were successful in their missions over there in World War II, I believe. And it was so good that the French white women wanted to, have sex with them, if they will. The white men basically got jealous, and from there they created or concocted a rumor that black men had a tail, and they found one guy, paid him, and for him to dress up like a monkey and perform, and called himself Moonshine.
I am not familiar with that because you're explaining an episode that took place, and I am more focused on the key episodes or dynamics that started this thing in motion.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Because you could pick out these episodes all day long, but none of these one episodes has caused where black race is today. None of these episodes has caused us to be failing in all of the core areas that a species has to have to survive. These are bad things that have happened, but just like racism and oppression, racism can't be the reason why we're failing to this degree.
Right.
Because most of the stuff that's going on, we are doing it to ourselves.
Right, exactly.
All of these areas that are failing where President Trump is sending in troops are all run by blacks.
Yeah. And
They're
so
all run by black mayors and black councilmen and black governors. So how in the world can you be blaming white people?
exactly. So
That's illogical.
and that's what I mean by that. It's the damage of what one Negro can do to tarnish.
Yeah.
So I'm just using that story kind of as a, whole metaphor as to where we are today, if you will, because exactly we can apply that same message to everybody's upset with what's going on with Trump sending in the troops, like you said, in these predominantly black ran districts like DC, New York, and Chicago's a big one. It's crime ridden. They got a black mayor, but they're
understand this. This is not by accident. This is not because of bad politics. These people are being told to do this by this cabal.
Exactly.
They are told, they are bought, they are paid for. We all know that George Soros is the one who funded all their campaigns. They are being told to do this to these cities because what they're using is socialist communist manifesto strategies. These are the same strategies that they used in Venezuela and in Russia, in every place. What they do is they use crime as a means for change. They increase crime to force revolution and change. So what they're doing is, listen, any day of the week, these people could decrease crime. They know what to do to decrease crime. They're doing this on purpose because they're trying to force the hand of President Trump to bring in troops. Why would they do that? Well, then now they can say, look what you're doing to blacks. Right. You're bringing in the troops on the blacks. Because you'll notice that none of these are happening in Republican states because they're run by whites or blacks who are Republicans. So they're taking care of their crime. They did this in the civil rights movement, man. Right. They did this. This is a strategy. They did this in Germany to let crime. What happens is when crime increased, the people became more malleable to take suggestions to the solution. And then they would give them the solution that they wanted. This is what it's all social engineering, man. It's all on purpose. So it's all on these niggas ain't doing this shit by accident. Yeah. They're not. They're all been recruited. All of them are recruits. And they're being trained and they're being coached what to do. None of their speeches are organic. Everything that they're saying, they're being coached and told what to say. Trust me. The Tavistock and these individuals would never trust these morons with anything. These people are recruited because the only thing they care about is self-enrichment, and usually they're morally and mentally compromised, meaning they're people who have low IQs, people who don't have the talent to make it on their own. If there's one thing you'll notice about these people, they are not talented. They have no talent. Yeah. Jasmine Crockett never talks about her knowledge of the law. She just talks about emotional ghetto shit because that's all she has. Yeah. No, for real. So with that being said, it started somewhere. Sorry, brother. I didn't mean to.
It's all good, brothers, because everything that you're saying, it had to start from somewhere. And you kept highlighting the civil rights movement and that and how it was socially engineered. Can you explain to the audience that may not be familiar with that? They might call us crazy or whatever.
Let me take black people in history, because the one thing that I found, and I'm sure you've seen this, is black people have a distorted sense of history. They don't have an accurate sense of history. That's not black people's fault. Dale Carnegie owns the Smithsonian Institute, and the contract to distort black people's history has been in place since the Tuskegee Institute. What am I saying, my precious black people? when slavery ended in 1865, black people were, I believe, were 100% illiterate, because the ones that could read couldn't read for shit, and they couldn't write.
Mm-hmm.
By 1917, black people had come to almost 100% literacy and had created a language, a style of English that was so beautiful and so eloquent that it scared the shit out of the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. Now listen, hear me out. At the end of slavery, nobody offered black people jack shit. They didn't offer us any help at all. But then after black people had created the greatest educational system in the world, do you know that that has never been competed with? That has no educational system to this day has ever reached the productivity that we did at the end of slavery. Point number two, at the end of slavery, we recovered from slavery faster than any race in history.
Come on.
And then after this, Dale Carnegie, the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers come to us and offer us education? No. If you believe that, you're a moron. Here is a journal, research, the causes and consequences of attending historically black colleges and universities. Ronald G. Fryer, Harvard University.
Can you hold that? Can you hold that up a little clearer so we can see it?
This guy is from MIT.
Hold it back a little bit.
He did research to show and prove that the black race has been declining since the civil rights movement. I'm going to explain to you what happened. And I can take a picture of this and give these to you people to get.
That's cool, because the camera's not doing no justice.
You can grab this. The guy's from Harvard, and he said the civil rights movement is killing us. Let me tell you what happened. The Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and Carnegie went to 3 sellout niggers. They went to these 3 men. Let me show you their pictures. They went to Booker T. Washington.
Yep.
Carter Woodson.
Heard of him, Carter G.
And W.E.B. Du Bois. Trying to find W.E. Du Bois's picture. W.E.D. Du Bois owns a company right now, to this day. I can't find this picture. I'll show you. W.E.D. Du Bois owns this company, his family, called Black History Unlocked, where they every day spew propaganda to keep black people blaming white people for our demise, for what we're in. Oh, here he is. I found him. Here he is, Carter Woods.
Yep.
And then there's W.E.B. Du Bois. They went to these 3 sellout niggas, made a contract with them to start Tuskegee Institute and take over our education. Now, I can tell you right now that they didn't want to do it. They did not want to do it. You can see, I have a picture of them. Let me show you. Oh, here it is. I have a picture of them. This is the opening day of Tuskegee Institute, and you can go to my Instagram. Let me try to get this.
Yeah, you got to kind of back it up, back
yeah,
up
I should get that thing off.
But
here it is.
Perfect, right there.
You can see. Hold on, I can just hold it.
Yeah.
You can see in the picture that
you got to back it up
these
a
people,
little bit.
and you guys can go up and look up this picture. I have it marked in 7 places where you can clearly see that
right
these
there?
people did not want to be there. They're turning away because they knew what was happening. Do you know that after these black people, black doctors and nurses graduated, their first assignment was to go and sterilize their own black women? And people are telling me they didn't know they were sterilizing them. How in the world were they nurses learning a procedure and not knowing they were doing it, and they had to teach them what they were doing? You wouldn't have been able to replicate it if you didn't know what you were doing. How are you going to teach somebody a medical procedure and not tell them what they're doing? Right. So that's nonsense. That's just retarded. They brainwashed them in this school, and they brainwashed them with a hatred for their own people. Because after this, listen to me carefully, these black people started calling their own black people coons. Well, Tenzel, doesn't that happen to me and you when you tell black people that they brainwashed them that they were coons, that the black people weren't like them, they were coons, and that they weren't like them, they weren't really black. We know this happened because after this, they then went on to experiment on their own black people with syphilis and let them die. How in the world did they go from working together to create the greatest institution in the world, go through a 4-year education program, and then start butchering their own people? They were brainwashed.
God.
They then used it,
I said God.
They were brainwashed. They were brainwashed. There's no other way to explain it.
Right.
There is no other way to explain it, man. How in the world did they change them from working together with their own people to butchering their own people? In that school, they brainwashed them. They used the same science to create the civil rights movement. And you see that this has evolved into how black people treat each other today. Right. This is not an accident that we kill each other at 98%. It's been socially engineered, because in that school and in the civil rights movement, they taught black people how to hate each other.
Whew. Now, because that's heavy right there.
They taught us.
Yeah.
They taught us how to hate each other. And dude, the civil rights movement, if we keep practicing it, look what it's gone to. It's gone from desegregation to now we're talking about we want to segregate. How did that happen? It's socially engineered. The civil rights movement would have always reversed and gone to that. It's been socially engineered for destruction. That's why this guy wrote this in this paper and identified that I just understand why it is. See, let me explain to your audience where the civil rights movement comes from. If you go to my Instagram, you'll see I've done whole series on this and showed you. When these monsters, these sellout 3 niggas made this Farsi contract and sold us out, they then after that gave these 3 sellout niggas PhDs from Harvard. And I asked for their transcripts and they wouldn't give it to me.
Damn.
And I submit to you that their transcripts don't exist. They gave them PhDs for selling us out. After that, they used these 3 sellout niggas to then produce HBSUs, who were all created by social engineers. The first one was H. Stanley Hall. They say he was the first guy to get a PhD from Harvard. Couldn't have been true, because the men who trained him, William James and Kurt Van Loren, had PhDs in psychology. He started the Atlanta Clark School, where they then recruited a black dude by the name of Abernathy to start the folk school, where they trained blacks in the Socialist Communist Manifesto in Memphis, Tennessee. And this is where they trained black people in the Communist Manifesto is psychological warfare. It's actually like psychology. It's rooted in deception. It's rooted in fooling people. It's psychological warfare. You see the Democrats using it. Lying, the constant lying, the ruining people's reputation. That's what they did see, I was married to a Russian woman for 10 years. Came here straight from Russia. So I understand the Communist Manifesto on a level that maybe a lot of people wouldn't, because of that, because she shared with me what happened in Russia, and everything that she told me that she saw happening in Russia is happening in the United States right now.
Such as, like, can you give us an example?
The marching, the protesting, the burning down, the fund the police is that's in the Communist Manifesto. Hitler did that. Hitler took away the police and then put in the special police that would do his bidding. All of these are communist manifesto ideologies. And you got black people in the United States of America practicing the Communist Manifesto and don't even know it. How in the world are these black people practicing socialist Marxist communism and don't know it? Asking for free shit all the time. Asking for the government to give them what it's their responsibility to go out and earn. That's all from the Communist Manifesto.
Now, people,
all of it.
Now, people would say that we wasn't asking the government for free stuff. We would just wanted human rights. You know, we just wanted to be able to sit on the bus, and we just wanted to be able to eat at a Denny's and not get rocks thrown at us.
Do you know where the bus scenario comes from? It was all socially engineered. Rosa Parks was recruited from the sellout school that they gave Booker T. Washington, Booker T. High School. It took me a while to find her because they normally recruit them from colleges because they took over all of our colleges and our seminaries. That's where they recruited. So they created the folk school. I have all the documents from FOIA requests from FBI agents who visited the folk school. And it was supposed to be a school for children. The FBI agent said he went over there 3 times and there was no children there. And one of the people working there was a psychologist, social engineer. I don't know why you need social engineers to teach children ABC and 1, 2, 3. They were over there. They were over there and had Rosa Parks over there training. And what they were training them to do was to fake episodes, make people think they were real, to gain people's emotions and people's allegiance. These people at the folk school orchestrated and faked the entire bus scene. The bus scene was completely faked and orchestrated. They practiced it for months before they did it. And the white people that were on the bus were all from the folk school.
Hell, man.
So all the shit that black people are using to substantiate all of their beliefs and ideologies, all prefabricated and have been giving them through this prefabricated, socially engineered civil rights movement. They were all actors, every single one of them. It's going to be in my book. How in the world can black people prosper using a fake-ass ideology that these maniacs got our own people to sell us out? Because Martin Luther King was a deviant sexual pervert. They sell us out. I have the access to the informants. They have tapes of all of them sleeping together. They were all homosexual perverts.
Damn, that's heavy.
Yeah, it's in the tapes. They taped everything. J. Edgar Hoover taped it all. So it's all documented. This shit ain't no conspiracy theory. They taped them having sex with men. Every time they came to a city to do these riots and do these civil rights riots, they were having orgies.
That's heavy.
Yeah. And this is what black people are basing the prosperity in the future of the black race on. Problem is, the civil rights movement has done nothing but degrade us. Look at what it's doing to us.
I mean, yeah.
We're going down the tubes. We are failing in all the core. In order for a species to survive, they have to be doing well to a certain degree in several core areas. Education. We can't read. The majority of our kids can't read, so we're failing in education. Science. We don't do anything in science. We have not produced any inventions or any science. That thing I showed you, that guy from Black History Unlocked, you'll notice that everything he posts is from decades ago. Everything the man posts is from decades ago. You would think that would tell black people that we're in trouble, but it doesn't. It doesn't. Most of the sciences that he is promoting that we created is irrelevant now. It's irrelevant. Our HBSUs, they're all social engineering schools producing black socialist communists. You will notice that all the black kids that come out of there are godless. Every one of them that come out of there talk about there's no God and they have no faith in the Lord Jesus Christ. I have never met more godless people than come out of those HBSUs. I would have them attack me on my page, telling me all kinds of godless stuff like God isn't here on Instagram. And, dude, they're godless. It's because they're being indoctrinated with the Communist Manifesto, which is a demonic, godless doctrine. I'll explain that to you and your people. So this is all that's happening in these HBSUs. They have not produced anything. I went and tried to research what has been produced from HBSUs. Dude, it's all fake ass shit. They're all first black to do this, first black to do that. All that is them allowing somebody to succeed that they have selected and they have recruited and then putting them in positions. And usually it's people who have not earned it.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing. Well, you go and show me anyone from an HBSU who's done anything exceptional except for acting and rap and music.
Right.
They got that. Acting and rap and music, they got that. But I'm talking about the sciences, man. A race can't sustain if we have no achievements in science.
Nah, for real. So that was all a part of taking down America is through taking down just our race, and then through that, because it's not a black or
What
white
happened
thing.
is all this comes from London, dude. This plan to destroy us all comes from London. And they knew that if black people adopted America fully, adopted our culture, it would make America unstoppable. They couldn't have let it happen. All this comes from London. The Tavistock Institute of Human Relations, the premier agency for mass brainwashing, who created all of these constructs, the civil rights movement, communism, all of it are in London. The music industry is in London. Who created gangster rap? London. London.
Man.
All socially engineered music that is somehow magically kept in a 1, 2, and 3rd grade education. Can you explain to me how in the world every single rapper musician is only writing music at a 1st and 2nd and 3rd education without some measure of control? How in the world would that be possible?
Right. I mean, like you said, it's because they pick them. Because that's, I mean, if they put those type of people in front of us, then that's who we aspire to be constantly, right?
What they have done to us is they have created a mechanism of blacks since Tuskegee, since the 3 sellout niggas that sold us out. They have created a mechanism where they have an unlimited amount of black people who are in line to become rich by selling us out. They have a mechanism for it, man. That's how these blacks make it. They don't make it unless they're willing to sell us out. They're recruited to make it. The boule only chooses people who these niggas you see, and I don't care what these people think, I'm using the word. I'm calling them niggas because of what they're doing. They're selling out their own people. In Hollywood, all of them know what's going on. They all know what's happening to us. They all know that we're being sold out. They all know.
Right.
They all know. That's why they work so hard to keep us angry and blaming white people, because they don't want us to ever find out. Listen, if we wouldn't have been so degraded morally, we would have figured it out that it was our own people to sell us out, because it's right in our face. It's in the Last Supper. Who sold Jesus out?
Man, it was everybody. Judas, Peter.
Nah, it was his friend. In the Last Supper, it was Judas that sold him out. Peter denied him, but Peter didn't sell him out. Judas is the one who sold him out for pieces of gold. Yeah, and it says in the Bible that and Judas was sitting It's always the one supping with you. It's always the one that you least expect. It's always your brother. And black people would have figured this out. But when this happened to us, the civil rights movement, one of the things they did was they took away the church. They infiltrated all of our churches and replaced the Bible with the Communist Manifesto. Don't you see Jamal, that they're preaching hating white people? Where in the world does it come from that you're using the Bible to hate white people? That's Antichrist, man.
Mm-hmm.
The same people that made black people made white people. There is no way that the Lord Jesus Christ, he died for white people the same. This is all from the Communist Manifesto, man. This is what happened. They took out the Bible. Black people wouldn't do that. You know that one of the beautiful things, Denzel, at the end of slavery, we were Christians. We Ethiopia wrote the first Bible.
Yeah, they did.
We know we were Christians because in the cotton fields we were singing, "Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth." Remember that?
Yeah.
That was from the cotton field. That's from the book of Isaiah. We brought it in the cotton fields and we didn't get bitter. We never got bitter. That's why we were able to produce the greatest educational center in the world, because we didn't get bitter at white people for slavery. God touched us and we created the greatest school in the world, and we with no help from anyone, no food stamps, no social help, nothing, just us and the Bible. And then they came with the Socialist Communist Manifesto that taught us how to hate white people. And that's all we've been doing ever since, is hating white people. Look at it. That's all we do. Every black person you know has some beef or attitude towards white people. How in the world are we going to prosper with hate towards white people? How are we going to prosper? We can't get in touch with God. And one of the big problems with the black race is we have totally disconnected from God, from family, from our children.
Yeah.
And the only thing we think about is wealth. That's the only thing we think about is wealth. What race accepts drill music? The Italians don't accept drill music. Even the Latinos don't accept drill music. The Irish don't. The Jews don't. But who does? Us. Us. We accept it. What normal person accepts music that promotes young black men going out and killing each other every night? Black people do. There's something that has been socially engineered inside of us, my brother, that has lowered our connection to each other as black people. We see each other like we're nothing.
Yeah.
We don't even feel any type of connection to each other anymore, blacks. Blacks don't even help each other. There's no black shelters. There's no black social agencies. They're all white. Nevertheless, they're always talking about how bad white people are. Nevertheless, all the shelters are run by white people. And did you know that more white people adopt black babies than black people do?
Yeah, I see them all over the city, to be honest, in the Central West End.
How you gonna have animosity for people that are doing more to help your people than you are? That doesn't even make any sense, man. That kind of thinking, you can't prosper with that kind of asinine thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the other things. Black people don't understand black history. They believe that they were in slavery for 200 years and 400 years. Black people were only in slavery for 47 years. That's right. They're stealing episodes of slavery from other people.
And you say 47 years.
We were only in slavery for 47 years. That's the slaves going from Africa to America. What they did was they attached the transatlantic slave trade to that, tried to make it 200 years. And who did that? Dale Carnegie.
Oh.
Because black people are a lot madder when you make them think they were in slavery longer than everybody. They also made sure that none of the books talk about any other of the slaves. The Irish were enslaved for 56 years. The Jews were in slavery for 400 years. The Italians were in slavery for 400 years. The Mexicans were in slavery for 400 years. The Jews were in slavery for 400 years. None of that is taught in school. It's just black people who were in slavery for 400 years.
Yep.
Dude, this has all been done on purpose. This has all been done to us on purpose. For some reason, these people are extremely invested in keeping black people hating white people. And we need to find out why.
We need to find out.
We need to find out why, because I am telling you, I have never seen so many ads that continuously push white people, black people to hate white people. Yeah. And I can tell you right now, the mess that black people are in ain't because of white people. How could it be racism and oppression when we have all these Africans coming over here becoming medical doctors? Yep. Can you explain that to me? They're coming from overseas becoming medical doctors, and they're black as the ace of spades. I don't know if you've ever seen some of those African doctors. My wife is a doctor, and she trains medical doctors at Cleveland Clinic. And she trains these black doctors, and she asked them, do you see any race? They don't know what black people are talking about. So how in the world? Because black people were infected with the Communist Manifesto. So black people see racism everywhere because it's in our heads. It's in our heads, man. So let me explain how it happened to the audience. This is Karl Marx. Karl Marx was a deviant sexual pervert. He was a Mason. I have pictures of him where you can see him in the open hand. And he was a deviant sexual pervert, and he was a Luciferian. Karl Marx had poems, and I'm just going to be thrown out and be honest with it. It's nasty. It said he loved Satan so much, he wanted to eat the shit out of his daughter's asshole, chew it up, put it back in her asshole, and chew it up again. The man was a psychopath. He wrote the Communist Manifesto. It probably wasn't perfected, but he met with Chatham House, which is the great writers of Chatham House, or Tavistock. He met with them in 1847, and they helped him to put together and social engineer the Communist Manifesto, and then he rolled it out in 1848 magically. Oh, he was poor as shit before it. After he met with them, he managed to become completely moved to England, lived in walking distance of Tavistock, and was at the London Library every day with these psychopaths. And his family came out of poverty. Oh, by the way, he molested and raped all of his daughters, because that's what they do. You will always find out that these individuals are involved with sexual perversion because it's in the Communist Manifesto. It's a demonic doctrine. These people are all devout Luciferians. So what they did was, when they made this construct, this ideology, by the way, all the stuff I'm telling you is what the movie The Matrix is about. They're talking about social engineering. They're talking about the science of controlling people's minds, and people never even know or know what's going on, and live constructs and lives that were given to them, and they think it's their own. That's what it is. That's what I'm talking about today. They then had this construct. This is the construct that they keep repeatedly using in every construct that they make. In 1986, at the same conference that they met every year, that they met with Karl Marx, and they met with Lenin in 1917 and financed the Bolsheviks' war. They met in 1986 and said that they were going to roll out climate change, interracial dating. For some reason, they know something about interracial dating that does something to us, that they want us to keep doing it. I haven't figured that part out yet. They said they were rolling out gangster rap and transgenderism. Said they were rolling it out. Have you noticed that all of these people that adopt these ideologies become violent and start burning down shit? Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Transgenders are now, all 12 last school shooters were transgenders. Feminist movement, they get violent in their riots. Climate change, they put nails in trees so that guys can lose their eyes and their hands and their arms to save the trees. These people are crazy. It's because all of these ideologies have it within them, the Communist Manifesto. So it will always lead to violence, death, and destruction. That's what they brainwashed black people with in the civil rights movement. That's why they were always burning down shit. Dude, I have the it was violent. It was violent. And this is what they did. They taught them. Here's one of the many news clippings I have that report the violence of the civil rights movement. Where this woman was like a bouncer informer. They were breaking people's arms. They had to physically torture people, black people, to get them to cooperate with the civil rights movement like the mafia, because black people did not want it. Black people were doing just fine before the civil rights movement, but they did not want it. So they forced them to take. What they did was I told you they infiltrated all the churches, the Southern Conference, all the black churches. They infiltrated them, and they got the pastors to then make the people cooperate with the civil rights movement. And if you didn't, man, they'd burn down your house. They burned down your house. When people started realizing that the civil rights movement was fraudulent, what it really was, that's when they brought in Hollywood. That's when they brought in Sammy Davis Jr., Frank Sinatra. Remember that?
Yeah, and that's what part of what Malcolm X was kind of warning when he was saying, you know, why are you putting our political figures, Lena Horne and Sammy Davis Jr. speaking for us.
Dude, all of our lead black leaders are sold out. I can tell you that right now. They're all of them. If they make it there, they're sold out. And if I dare anybody to show me anything that any black leader has done to help us, show me anything that they have ever done that resulted in the prosperity of black people. Dare me to show you one. You can't find it.
Right.
Because these people are committed against us. The Democratic Party is committed to two things. They're committed to these people, and they're committed to keeping us blaming white people for our demise. When it was these three sellout niggas that sold us out. And it's been, dude, I'm telling you, listen, your viewers may not believe me, but I'm going to tell you something. In Hollywood, and I know black people have thought this. You see these people in Hollywood have no talent. You see that. I know you wondered, how is this dude a billionaire, can't dance, can't sing? How is this? Because they're all a part of this bloodline. I guarantee you that if you make them take blood tests, you will find out that they're all related to either Booker T. Washington, Carter Woodson, or W.E. Du Bois. Now, they try to say that Carter Woodson does not have any family because somehow, magically, his penis was amputated.
Yeah, that's what I started off.
Well, I only know one guy who got his penis amputated in my life. In 30 years of mental health, he was in a mental hospital, and he had cut it off with a butter knife. He was schizophrenic, and the voices told him to cut it off. It is almost impossible to get your dick cut off. It's really hard. It's not as easy as you think. It almost always has to be done intentionally. I mean, there's hardly anybody that gets their dick cut off. I think this guy hid his family. I think he hid his family. What's another reason I believe that? The business he started is still going on today. Who owns this business?
If he
Who's running
didn't
this
have no
business?
family, right?
Yeah. If his family's not running it, who's running it? The CIA?
Straight up.
So I think the guy's lineage is still alive today, and he was smart enough to try to hide his lineage. Damn. And I'm going to tell you something. I tried to research their lineage, and dude, it has what we call a dead end. And as a researcher, whenever you run into a dead end, that means the person's history is fabricated. There are no dead ends.
Right.
Yeah, if you really existed and you were on this planet, and you literally, if you got on a plane today and went to New York and came back, we would literally have all kinds of footprints that you went there and back. See what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And even in things where I find a dead end, I always find a reasonable explanation. There's no reasonable explanation for this guy. His life is a dead end, which tells me somebody went in and fabricated for him. Somebody doesn't want us to know about this. But I believe if we blood tested them in Hollywood, many of them niggas in Hollywood are there because they have no talent. They're there because they're in this bloodline. And in this contract, I believe that the contract agreement was anyone from that lineage would be allowed to succeed even if they didn't have talent. So you see Joy Reid?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dude, listen to Joy Reid. Does that woman have any talent? When have you ever heard her say anything intelligent?
Nope. You know,
ever.
I was watching a movie last night that kind of showed that a girl was working in banking and she ended up, long story short, they end up throwing her in jail for embezzlement for the crime or whatever because she came out of the hood. She was dating a dude and she was wondering why her boyfriend didn't come see her. And he was like, my dad's a senator. You know, I can't be seen with you. You know what I mean? So like that right there.
Well,
like
Joy Reid, there's no way in the world I believe that her degree, that she honestly earned a degree, that she actually did the work on. I'm a PhD, and I understand the intellectual resources of someone who has gone through a PhD program, a serious PhD program. My PhD program did put me against the wall. You hear me? Mm-hmm. It does something to you intellectually, meaning if you're talking to somebody who actually did the work to do it, there should be some residual intellectual resources. You know? And I do not see any critical thinking skills with this moron. It's always racial overtones and emotion. And she says the dumbest shit that can't be true.
It just makes us look bad on an intellectual level, if you will. It's like the same thing how we was talking off air about watching Kamala Harris, you know, that display.
She's another one. I do not believe that she legitimately earned a law degree. I don't believe it. I think they let her go through school. I believe that if you go, and I hope President Trump sees this and does this, if he goes through those HBSU's transcripts, you will find that these people have been selectively choosing people to get degrees and to put them in positions. And you will find that none of these people have earned these degrees. They're not intellectually equipped for these positions. They have been selected to take these jobs. And Kamala Harris is a perfect example, dude. Would you want her to be your lawyer?
Heck no. No.
You had a murder charge. Would you want that illiterate moron who can't even get a sentence out to be defending you? Dude, you'd go to prison for the rest of your life. I guarantee it. She is a moron. She did not. I know she didn't legitimately earn a law degree. They recruited her, man.
And it's sad, man, because they tried it. Like they tried it once with Barack Obama, putting him over the finish line in front of him. Though he might have been savvy, he was destructive to us too.
Now let me explain the history of Obama. I lived in Chicago, and I was a pastor on the pastoral staff of a very large church, about 6,000, and we had 2,000 in our youth group, and I was youth pastor. We all knew the man was gay. He was at gay bars every night. And the gays told me that it only surprised them that he went for the presidency. But his entire history is fake. They do this. The dude that raised him was the same guy that filmed his mother in the porn movies. His mother was a porn star. She worked for USA Today. She was in the CIA. The grandparents were in the CIA.
Yeah.
The guy that she remarried after she supposedly with the African guy, which I don't believe that shit for a minute, that's really his father. The guy Sartoro was in the CIA in the oil business with the Bushes. So the Bushes have known Barack Obama since childhood. They've known him since childhood. That's why they were giving them those pieces of candy all the time. You ever notice he do that?
Right. I think we back. Yeah, I cut it on. Yeah, my mic on. Yeah, man. Like I said, man, I was just doing a rerun episode just doing a rerun episode, man. That was Dr. Terrence Roselle, man. Basically saying 60 years later, man, talking about the state of the black community and where we've been. And if y'all just go back and watch it, man, he was dropping some real gems, man, saying that our enemies really wasn't who we think it is. It's closer than we think. 3 sellout black people. Our whole history is distorted. The civil rights movement was indoctrinated us into communism and Marxism because you can see how we treat each other in today's you know what I mean? We kill each other at an alarming rate. We disrespect each other at an alarming rate. And, you know, prior to the 1960s civil rights movement, we was loving each other. We was in a family, you know what I mean? We was in a home, and we thrived together. So something happened, man. And this man talks about it. Hey, but I want to thank y'all so much, man, for another great episode of Cartoons with Cut. That was my Black History Facts for the day, man. I'll catch y'all next Sunday, man. Be there, meet me there. Keep it square, gang.